So let's jump right into the questions and the answers. Someone asked me what is the best program for removing the background for an item, and they're asking this because Amazon, part of their rules for having images on Amazon is for there to be no background, for it to be a completely white background. And if you've ever shopped on Amazon before, you've seen some people don't follow that rule. You don't ever want to, though, be connected to an image that was uploaded that's not following the rules, because eventually they'll get around to finding it, and you might get your seller account dinged if you uploaded a photo that did not have a pure white background. Amazon doesn't want any other distractions. They only want the exact item that you're selling to be in the image. So we have not used a background removing service. I've got some Photoshop skills, and I've been able to remove the background myself. And I really don't think it's all that hard to do. There's even other programs that aren't Photoshop, that aren't as technical as Photoshop. So if you want to pay a service, I've heard of, even removethebackground.com, but I've never used them, so I'm not endorsing them. That's just the only one that I can remember and have heard of. But you can even just Google yourself how to remove the background, and it can tell you a lot of different options for you to do it yourself. It's pretty easy to do, so that's my suggestion. But be sure that if you ever creating a product page on Amazon, that you upload it with a clear background. So do you have to pay for Photoshop? Yes, Photoshop is a very expensive program, but there are other programs out there that are not as expensive. Some people can even just use Microsoft Paint to remove the background, but I'm not sure exactly how they do that. So yes, there's services that you can pay to remove the background. And yeah, Fiverr, there's people on Fiverr, and you might be able to have multiple background removal just so it's white by going to Fiverr. That's FIVERR.com. I've used Fiverr for other things before, but not for that. So someone asked me what my favorite scanning app is. My favorite scanning app right now is Scoutify. I've used the ScanPower scanning app, I've used Profit Bandit, and I've used Scoutify. Scoutify is connected with Inventory Lab, and Inventory Lab is the processing service that I use when I'm processing my inventory to send to Amazon, and it comes with Scoutify as part of the package deal. Now, I first started off with ScanPower, and ScanPower, I love ScanPower. I love their processing software. I love their scanning app. But the main thing is that ScanPower charges one fee for the processing program and another fee for the scanning app. And if you wanted to use, my wife and I both scan, so if you wanted to have two scanning apps, we'd have to pay double the fee for that. So it'd be 3 different charges just for my wife and I to use that. And so while we loved it and it was very reliable and gave us great information to make our decisions on, we moved from there to Profit Bandit. And we used Profit Bandit for a really long time for the scouting app. And then one day Profit Bandit started having some bugs. And I know since then they fixed the bugs, but we transitioned from ScanPower programming, the program that ScanPower puts together for processing inventory, over to Inventory Lab. You can find out more about Inventory Lab, get a free 30-day trial going to fulltimefba.com/Inventory Lab. But we really like it because Inventory Lab is one cost for the processing program, for the listing program, and then the same cost includes the scouting, and you can have as many different phones using their scouting. So it just made it more sense economically, and the things that they offer there are really awesome. So talk about how they're different from the seller app. So yes, the Amazon seller app is a free app, and Amazon seller app is good for a lot of different reasons. We love checking our sales on it. We like repricing on it. We like checking our inventory levels on it. We like seeing how many items we sold that day on it. We like seeing what our disbursement is. We love the seller app in a lot of different ways, but I would never, ever suggest someone use only the Amazon seller app as their sourcing, to make all their sourcing decisions. And here's why. The Amazon seller app will give you the current sales rank. That's great. They'll give you the current competitive prices, but they don't give you what I think is the most valuable information, and that's this. The most valuable information that you could get is connecting the item that you're sourcing, the item that you're trying to decide whether or not you're going to buy or not, to data that helps you make better decisions. And I'm talking about Camel. I'm talking about Keepa. I'm talking about other services that you can connect through ScamPower, Profit Bandit, and Scatify, that is the app for Inventory Lab. I need that data, and Amazon Seller App does not connect me to Camel to look at price history or sales rank history, because I don't want to decide and put money into something based on the sales rank of today. Now, it might mean that it's going to sell again, but the sales rank number from today is never a guarantee of future sales. It's just a snapshot of how well it's selling right now. And I love looking at Camel to look and see if this has been a good seller for a long time, if this item I can actually expect the price to go up, or if this item I can actually expect the price to go down, so maybe I shouldn't buy as many. I need those kind of those programs, and there's quick and easy clicks that you go through with the ScamPower, Profit Bandit, and Scatify apps that lead you right there. There's also Keepa is a program that you can connect with ScamPower, Profit Bandit, Scatify, that tells you when Amazon's been in and out of stock, how long Amazon was out of stock, how long Amazon was in stock, what Amazon's price was, and it also gives you the price and sales rank history of those items. And you can kind of see, you know what, Amazon's out of stock right now, but usually they're in stock. I do not want to compete with Amazon most of the time, so I like to have that information. So that's the basic reasons why I do not endorse the Amazon Seller App for the purposes of scouting or sourcing inventory. It's great for a lot of other reasons, and I look at it multiple times a day. But when I'm out sourcing, the only time I ever really sometimes look at it is just to verify if an item is restricted or possibly hazmat. Because sometimes my sourcing app tells me an item is restricted or hazmat, sometimes it doesn't, and if I'm ever curious, I know Amazon Seller App is much more reliable on telling me if an item is restricted or is hazmat and I shouldn't sell it. So that's that. All right, someone asked us a question a minute ago about outsourcing or hiring help. Basically, here's my big tip about hiring help. Before you move it from a one-person business to multiple people, if you're even considering the thought of maybe hiring somebody, then it's time. Because if you're just going along and you're not even thinking about it, most of the time, by the time people hire somebody, they're doing it too late. Most everyone I've ever talked to that hired somebody to do sourcing for them, hired someone to do packing and shipping for them, hired someone to take care of their bookkeeping for them, hired somebody even hired somebody to clean the house so that you can pay them a certain rate, so that it frees you up to make even more on your Amazon business. By the time they hire them, they realize, oh my gosh, I should have done this a long time ago. So if you're even thinking about hiring somebody in your business, then I think it's time. And you know what? If you hire somebody and it turns out it's not a good deal, it's okay. You could just let them go and go back to a one-person business. If you start realizing, this is not actually profitable, then you can go back. But I totally recommend doing that. If you go to fulltimefba.com/outsourcing, there's a really good book by my friend Ryan Grant who talks about outsourcing the sourcing aspect. He talks about how to find, hire, and train people to actually go out and do the sourcing for you. And a lot of people think, oh my gosh, isn't that going to be training my competition? They're going to see that I'm making all this money on the things that they're buying. Most people don't have the drive to actually go out there and try to do their own business. Most people want the security of a consistent paycheck. Most people want the easy thing of just doing a job, getting paid for it. Most people don't have that entrepreneur spirit who thinks, oh my gosh, I could do this on my own and I can make more doing it on my own. A lot of people just like the easy way. Now, being a business owner, being an entrepreneur, selling on Amazon FBA, at first it might sound like it's easy, it might sound like it's passive income, but it's hard work, It's time. It's work that takes a lot of time, and it's not passive at all. Sure, we send it to Amazon, but if you just send it to Amazon and never think about your inventory again, then and think that's passive. I'm not thinking about it anymore. Or I don't have to do any work for it. You're gonna get bit, and it's gonna hurt, especially when long-term storage fees come. So, and you know what? If you train your competition, there's tons of stuff to resell. That's right. If someone does decide to go off and resell, it's not like they're going to be stealing all of your inventory. I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. There is a Dallas-Fort Worth meetup. There's actually a Dallas-Fort Worth Facebook group page, and let me even just give you the actual number of how many people are in the Dallas-Fort Worth. There's 163 people that are just in the Facebook group alone for the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And that's not counting people that I know live here who aren't in the group. And so if there are, I would say at least 200 people, probably even more, that are doing Amazon FBA in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And you know what? I'm driving everywhere. Sourcing everywhere. I've run into people sometimes where they've been sourcing. It's been kind of rare when I've run into them, but it's happened before. I even had someone who sells $1 million in sales a year move to town, and it did not affect my sales at all. So even if you feel like you're training your competition, there's so much out there. And it all comes down to mindset. Do you have the abundance mindset, or do you have a fixed mindset? Do you have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset? If you have a fixed mindset, you're going to be stuck with, oh man, there's so many roadblocks, and there's so many things in my way, and there's so many things that are stopping me, and there's so many things that people are taking things away from me. Or do you have a growth mindset going, oh my gosh, there's all these obstacles that are going to stop everyone else, but it's not going to stop me. I'm going to push through it. I'm going to beat it, and I'm going to come out on top, and I'm going to use these opportunities and not see them as obstacles. They're not obstacles. They're opportunities. And so it's all about your mindset, because there's so much stuff out there to source with retail arbitrage, and then on top of that, online arbitrage. We have more retail arbitrage than online arbitrage, but the online arbitrage is catching up, and it's going crazy. It's awesome. There's so much stuff out there. So even if you do think you're training your competition, there's still stuff out there for you to find. Plenty. So, okay, so here's another question, and I'm sorry if I missed some of your other ones. Feel free to copy and paste them later. Should I get an impulse sealer with a cutter blade? I've never had an impulse sealer with a cutter blade. I don't think that they're necessary, because when you push the impulse sealer down and you seal the item, it automatically cuts it itself. It seals it. There's different amounts of heat that you can use on an impulse sealer. And the impulse sealer, it could be, very light, so it only, closes the plastic, but you can turn the heat up on the impulse sealer so much that it creates like a cut. So the plastic cuts because of the heat that is applied, and so there's something for you to think about. I saw someone just asking, where do you buy discounted gift cards that you can use in the store the next day? We use raise.com, RAISE. In fact, if you go to fulltimefba.com/raise, and there's some items, if you use the code TAKE5, TAKEFIV, then the number 5, go to fulltimefba.com/raise. If you use the code TAKE5, TAKE and the number 5, you can save an additional 5% on, I think there's about 10 or 15 gift cards. And it happens every weekend. If you happen to be watching this video and it's not a weekend day, just go back to Raise, and check out on the weekend. Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they have a select number of gift cards that you can get 5% off of, the additional percent off that you're getting them already. And we love Raise. We are on Raise all the time. So fulltimefba.com/raise, like you're getting a raise, because you're actually getting more in the gift card than you're actually paying for it. Some of them you're able to use immediately. Sometimes they will email you the barcode that you can use. They also have an app that allows you to get the barcode on your app that you can use the next day. But some of them they mail to you. Some of them are physical gift cards that they mail to you, and and you just have to be sure you know what you're doing. Some of them, the gift cards, you can only use them online. But they have them distinguished. They have them, there's a little description by the gift cards that are being sold about what they are. If they're a store card, physical card, or an e-card. So someone asked how to work towards a goal of 60K net. Okay, so if you're wanting to work toward a goal of 60K net, that's a really good question. A lot of times it's kind of hard because there's a lot of different factors that go into this. There's the factor of how much you're putting into your inventory and how much your ROI, the return on investment is. And so there's a way that spending spending $30,000 on inventory could net you 60K, in your pocket. And some people are able to do it by spending 20. It all comes down to your return on investment. And so if you think about it like this, a lot of people, when they're starting out, they use the 3 times rule. And the 3 times rule is this. Basically, if I buy something for $10, I need to sell it for $30 in order to make, a $10 profit. So if I'm wanting to double my money, I need to be able to sell it for 3 times the amount I'm purchasing it at. So if I buy something for $10, I sell it for $30, Amazon takes their fees, and then you have your business fees like boxes and tape and subscriptions that you have. After all that comes out, then that $10 investment turns into $20 that you make. So you're investing $10, you're making $10 in profit, and then there's those fees. So there's the 3 times rule. So if you're following that, in order to make $60,000 of profit, then you want to be trying to spend $60,000 on inventory. And so because you're spending $60,000 in not $60,000, $30,000. So there's a lot of different math that goes into that. And I don't want to lead you astray, so I think this is a good idea for an upcoming blog post. And so I could try to, put this down and make it into something that makes a lot more sense. But so that's something to think about. How do you get your 1099? Amazon, in the past years, has emailed all of their sellers when the 1099 is ready, and so that's one thing that. I'm waiting for. By law, they're supposed to have the 1099 ready by the end of the month, by the end of January. But there might be another way that you can go in to see it. But I'm just waiting for Amazon to email me to say, hey, your 1099 is ready. You need to go download it. Same thing if you sell on eBay and you reach a certain percentage of sales for eBay or other things. PayPal is supposed to send you a notification when your 1099 is ready. But if they don't, it's still your job to go find it. And so I've never in the past had to actually go look for it, but I'm sure in Seller Central there's a way to do it. And if not, then you can open up a ticket with Amazon to ask them. Chris Green's black and white copy of his OA book, does it have the same content as the color? Yes, it does. It has the same content within the pages. It just costs more for color. The color version just costs more because color costs more. But I believe with his color version, he offered a free 30-minute consultation. But with the black and white book, he did not offer the free consultation. So it's the exact same thing except without the consultation. So recommended for first shipment as an FBA newbie. I think when you're doing your very first shipment, a lot of people think that they might want to start small. But I think just trying to send in 5 or 6 items when you're starting out, probably isn't the best idea. I think when you're first sending in your this is a really good question. This is getting my mind going. When you're sending in your very first shipment, I think it's a good idea to have it be large, and here's why. I think when someone starts selling on Amazon FBA, it's a good idea for them, if they are truly wanting to make money on this and truly wanting it to be a possible full-time job, not full-time job, full-time income, or possibly a really solid part-time income, they should sign up to be a pro merchant immediately. Now what does that mean? There's two ways to sell on Amazon. There's pro merchant, and then there's I can't remember the name of the other one, individual seller. When you're on the pro merchant account, you're paying a flat fee of $39.99 a month to sell on Amazon. But if you're selling it as an individual, I can't remember what it's called now, but then you pay 99 cents per sale. So think about that, 99 cents per sale versus $40 flat fee. So obviously you want to have your first month be, you want to have your very first month, you want to get 40 sales. That way you're able to cover the cost. But here's why I think your first shipment should be large, because you want to get as many sales as you can as possible to cover that $40 fee. And I think signing up as a pro merchant from the beginning is important for a couple of things. Number one, it gives you accountability. If you just sign up as the individual account and you're like, I'm just going to pay 99 cents per item I sell, and you know what, if I sell stuff, that's great. If not, but you know what, if you're paying the $40 fee to sell on Amazon, you're going to be like, I need to get inventory in as soon as possible. I need to get more inventory in. I need to go out and look for more inventory to send to Amazon so I can be at least averaging 40 sales a month. And 40 sales a month, getting going on that is not difficult. And so that's why I think your first shipment should be large, because you'll be able to start selling more items. So if you're just now beginning selling on Amazon and you haven't sent in your first shipment yet, this is what I would suggest. I would suggest doing a lot of garage sailing. I know weather might not be great in your area, but garage sailing, if it's available, thrift stores, working up your inventory, go into clearance aisles at Walmart, clearance stuff at Target, and try to get as much as you can for your first shipment. You might even, spend 2 or 3 weeks gathering up inventory for your very first shipment. And when you get going, you sign up to sell on Amazon as a pro merchant so that you can have those items get to Amazon all at the same time. You could potentially get at least close to that $40, sell 40 items to cover up your monthly cost as possible. But even if you don't get it, you've gotten close to it. But I think if you do this, you'll be able to really even get past that. Because here's the thing, the items that sell in your first 2 weeks, you're going to get a disbursement for that. And you're going to be able to take that money from the disbursement, put it back into more inventory, send it into Amazon as soon as you can, because you're going to be still sourcing during those 2 weeks that you're waiting for your first disbursement. And then you're starting to build momentum. And you get the momentum going, and because of that accountability of that $40 fee that you're going to be paying to Amazon every month, you're going to be able to set yourself up right, get a good foundation. So I think if you can get 100 items in your first shipment, great. If you can't do that, if you can't find those items, I wouldn't suggest buying bad items just to have items going into Amazon, because you don't want to sell items that aren't going to sell. But go thrift stores. Go to as many thrift stores as you can. Walmart clearance aisles. You check for sales and find places in your area that are trying to clearance out stuff and send in a large shipment. So I hope that's helped, because that's what I would do. Try to send in as large of a shipment as possible and sign up for the pro merchant account. Because that accountability just will really help you. Make sure tell people to get the book why you recommend. It's a life changer. Yeah, right now we're going through a book club. We just started a book club. If you want to go to fulltimefba.com/book club, it's free to join, and we're all going through the book Start With Why. And we're starting this book because it's one of the best ways to build a foundation for your business and even in your life. When you start to think about why you do things the way you do, why you make certain business decisions, why you want to do Amazon FBA. Now this book doesn't have the word Amazon FBA anywhere in here. It might say Amazon, but it does. This is not like an Amazon FBA how-to book, but this is a book that's going to help your mind. It will help challenge you, and will help you to connect with your why so that you can avoid burnout, so that you can be set up for success. So I'm excited for those of you who are, picked up the book. If you go to fulltimefba.com, /book club. You'll be able to sign up for that. We're going to be doing videos, and we're going to be talking about this, posting on the Full-Time FBA Facebook page. And if you miss out on this book, there's going to be another book coming up in 4 to 6 weeks or so that we'll be talking about. So you can always join. We'll be having new books that they're going to be added every 4 to 6 weeks that we'll all go through together. Some of them will be Amazon related. Some of them will just be mindset or productivity related, but they will all be books that will help take your Amazon business to the next level. So someone asked about if I have a favorite category. I do enjoy the toy category probably more than the other categories, just because of how well they sell throughout the year. Every kid has a birthday every day of the year, and so people are going to be buying toys. And of course, at Christmas time, the toy category is crazy. It's our number one. It's our number one category that we sell in. Number two has been books, and books are awesome too. We love books. We love reading books. We're doing a book club. We love books, and so we've sold a lot of books. And those are actually the two categories I suggest people start in. But we are also we've expanded from there. We love doing home and kitchen type of items. We are loving selling shoes, and oh my gosh, today we sent in a whole bunch of bras. We're starting to sell bras, people. What does the world come to? I'm selling bras online. That sounds weird, but hey, it's we're making money. So those are the categories that we're doing. Can you suggest a way for me to speed up my listing and shipping? I am so slow. Let me give you a follow-up question, Sherry. Do you go through Amazon? Just go to Amazon, you log into Seller Central, and you start making your shipment? Is that what you're doing in preparing for your shipment and printing out, what is your current method for? Yes, okay, that's what you're doing. All right, my biggest suggestion is for you to check out Inventory Lab. Again, it costs about $40 a month to use Inventory Lab, but what it does is it completely speeds up the process. Inventory Lab, we found if you go to fulltimefba.com/inventory-lab, I think earlier I said Inventory Lab. I'll go ahead and set that link up too, so both of them will work. But fulltimefba.com/inventory-lab, and you can get 30 days for free that you can try it. But we got Inventory Lab, and we got this thing right here. Oh, it's still connected to the computer. All right, we got this thing right here, and it's been a life changer, as also a Dymo printer. All right, it's connected with wires. I'm not going to show you the Dymo printer, but we got the scanner, we got the Dymo printer, and Inventory Lab. Now those things cost money, so you might need to save up for them. If you let me make sure I got the correct link. If you go to fulltimefba.com/FBA-desk, DESK, fulltimefba/FBA-desk, that shows you a picture of my desk, and I break down everything that's in my desk, from my computer to my scanner to my Dymo to all the labels to all the other printers to everything that I use when I'm processing. And I use Inventory Lab to speed up the process, because I just take this, and I go beep, and then it comes up in Inventory Lab, and I can see on my screen it says all the prices. It's got not all the prices, but it has what Amazon considers are the most competitive prices. I pick the price. I say okay, this is in very good condition, so I write my condition notes. Very good condition, does not have any writing on any page. And then I can print the label in, and then I have the label. And it's just one label that I can put on the item, and then put it in the pile for the fulfillment center that it's going to. And it's so much faster, saves so much time, and something I really recommend everybody look into. fulltimefba.com/inventory-lab gives you 30 days free trial, and so I really recommend that. Scam fob. We have not used a scam fob. I've actually thought about ordering one just to try it out. I know a lot of people love it. Currently, using my camera with Scoutify works really well and works very quickly. I know scan fob would make it be even quicker. And if those of you who don't know what scan fob is, I'm trying to think if there's something around here that kind of looks close to the size. I don't have it. But scan fob is this tiny little barcode scanner that you can sync with your phone with like a Bluetooth, and you can just, beep, beep, and it reads it very quickly. If you're using your camera on your phone to scan barcodes, it can take a little bit longer time, and a lot of people swear by the amount of time that their scan fob has been able to save them while they're outsourcing. So how many hours per day on the FBA biz? All right, I think this will be one of our final questions. How many hours on your Amazon FBA business? That's a good question. I would say there are some weeks, especially during Q4, where we're spending 40 hours a week on our Amazon FBA business, but that's during Q4. And when it comes to non-Q4 times, I think, I probably spend about maybe 20 hours a week, maybe sometimes up to 30 hours a week on Amazon FBA business. And my wife knows I'm horrible with like guesstimating time. So if I'm wrong in any of this, my beautiful wife will come in on a comment and correct me, because not only do we have the Amazon business, but we also have the blog. We have these periscopes that we're doing. We've got we love putting together books and courses and stuff, and so she can correct me on that. So 20. Okay, wow, my wife says I'm right. 20 to 30 hours is right, and so that's really good. So we spend about 20 or 30 hours a week. Sometimes if I'm doing a lot of retail arbitrage, it'll be 30 hours. Other times it's just 20 hours a week. So we really are spending part-time hours on FBA and making a full-time income. And it's something that we're living this out. We're not just saying, hey, this is something that we hope people think we're doing and think that other people can do too. We're living it. We're full-time FBA, spending part-time hours, making a full-time income on Amazon FBA, and we want to teach you everything that we can to help you do it too. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it as always. If you're looking for any of the links that we talked about during this video, you can find those in the description below. And if you like the video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And if you have a comment or a question, you can do that below too. I'd always like to hear your thoughts on what we talked about today. And if you want to be sure you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos, be sure you subscribe to this channel. We have videos uploaded all the time to help you start making more income on Amazon FBA. And if you want to find out more about selling on Amazon FBA and turning part-time hours into a full-time income, go check out our blog, fulltimefba.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a couple of free PDF downloads that will help your business on Amazon become that much easier. And the blog is filled with over 100 blog articles that have tutorials, experiments, walkthroughs, teachings, tutorials, lots of stuff that will help you make more money on Amazon. Anyway, this has been Smotherman. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye.